We're going to cover how and where to start collecting Pokemon cards in 2021. Let's get started. Hello, beautiful people. Zach here. I want to jump right into this. So where do I start? So first of all, if you have an old binder, go through your old binder, look those cards up on eBay. That's another tip. eBay, right now, it holds the market for Pokemon cards. If we're talking about the United States right now, sure, there are other sites. You could do Facebook Marketplace. You can go ahead and hop on different groups online. I don't want to suggest other ones that I'm not as familiar with, and especially I see people buying individual cards online just from Discord groups. Be very careful about that unless you know the individual or that individual knows your friends, that sort of a deal. The further out you go from that, the riskier it gets, and I don't want to put my hands on any of that. Another thing I want to say up front is, yes, I used to be a financial advisor for a number of years. I used to be a broker. I am no longer, so I am not advising you and saying, hey, you have to do all of these things. You're guaranteed to make money. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't do any of those things. However, I'm basically guaranteeing you're going to make money. It's sad. I have to say that's a joke because it ruins the fun, doesn't it? Anyway, go through your old binder. Look at all of your cards, see what they're worth on eBay. That'll give you a really good sense of where the market's at least for that period of time. If you collected cards from the old WotC era, if you had some old EX generation cards, whatever it is, black and white, it doesn't matter. Buy modern sets, buy modern Pokemon cards, buy modern booster boxes. It's going to be cheaper also, and you're also going to quickly see where the market is on things. You're going to find out, whoa, what is a VMAX card? What's the difference between a shining Pokemon and a shiny Vault Pokemon? What's an ETB? What even is a booster box? ETB is an elite trainer box, and a booster box just holds, generally speaking, 36 packs of cards. Not always, but it's going to be generally one of your best bang for your buck options as far as buying cards go. You can generally buy that under MSRP. Even now for a brand new set, you have to look harder for it, of course, but it's possible. What's MSRP? MSRP for a booster box right now is $143. So I would expect something around there, but you get yourself started. You get 36 packs of whatever that set is that you buy. I know for sure you can go on eBay right now and you can expect that price for a Battle Styles booster box. That set just came out just a couple months ago. So you're going to be able to get your hands on that immediately and see what all of the fuss is about. And again, you're going to be able to find out very quickly. You're going to see other things in the recommended. Again, what's the difference between a booster box and ETB? What's a build and battle box? Don't tell your significant other what's in this mystery box. There'll be some other boxes online too. I'd stay away from those for more than one reason. Some other things you might want to consider buying up front would be sleeves. You're going to want to buy card sleeves. That kind of helps protect your cards. That helps with water, moisture, that sort of deal. Another thing would be top loaders. That's the harder type case. So if you want to sell some cards, definitely, always, please put your card in a sleeve and in a top loader if you're going to mail it out. Please, just do that. You might even want to consider buying card savers if you're going to consider sending in your cards for grading, which I highly recommend. Another pro tip on the sleeves, top loaders, and card savers, always buy in bulk, however much bulk that you can afford, what's reasonable to you. You might not want 500,000 top loaders, but maybe 500 is a good number, or maybe more than 50. Generally speaking, the more in bulk you buy, the more you can save. Not always. The world is really weird right now as far as prices go. Things are quite a bit more expensive than they used to be. However, you can still buy stuff in a bulk lot for a pretty decent price. You'll know it when you see it. Take 2 minutes. Hop on eBay and see what the current rate is for top loaders, depending when you watch this video. Hop on Amazon if you have an Amazon Prime account, or even if you don't, and just look at the differences in price and cost and see what works best for you. So here's probably the second most important thing that I'm going to tell you. Buy raw, which means buy the cards that are not graded, so just stand alone. So buy the card raw as is. Someone's like, oh, just pulled this from a pack, or it's lightly played, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Buy the card raw, grade it, so send it to a company, a third-party company for grading on the card, and then sell it graded. So it comes back looking like this. Well, maybe the card won't change too. What that process is going to do is going to teach you so much about not only the Pokemon card market, but just the card market in general, sports cards, whatever kind of trading cards. It's going to teach you a few things. What's the difference between a heavy played, moderate played, light played card? I'm sure you can tell by the names themselves. However, what's the difference between those in cost, value, how how good do those do in the long term? Are they desirable up front? How easy is it to grade something like that? What's the difference? Is it worth it for me to buy a card that's lightly played compared to something that might be near mint or mint condition? And I'm going to tell you something up front. It totally depends on the card too. Not everything is parallel. Another thing with grading is too, you're going to figure out the companies. What kind of companies grade the card? So I'm going to help you out up front a little bit. So PSA, just like it sounds, PSA, they're the top dogs right now. They have the card market, and they probably will for the foreseeable future. They are shut down until July of 2021. As of the making of this video, that can change. It could be sooner, it could be later. That's what they told us as of the recording of this video. There's CGC, SGC, BGS, and there are several more on the rise, and probably a couple that I'm leaving out. Here's the beauty of it. Send it somewhere to get graded by a professional company. I just imagining someone sending it to their friend like, yep, looks good, I give it a 10. It's going to teach you the grading process. How do you sign up with some of these companies? Some of them are easier than others. PSA is a little bit of a pain in the butt. You're gonna have to sign up for an annual membership for them if you want decent bulk rates. Again, all of this can change. They're doing a big overhaul right now. I'm not sure what the future holds for them, but it doesn't matter. Send it to a company. Just buy one card, buy a cheap card, send it in to get graded, if anything, to figure out the process or watch a process online. And you're gonna know, oh wow, okay, so that's what a card looks like when it's in near mint condition. I can kind of visually see the difference between a PSA 8 and a PSA 10 now, PSA 10 being the best. Another pro tip is you're not gonna see every single nick and scratch on the card online. A half a dozen pictures online isn't going to show you everything. Heck, even a video isn't going to show you everything from the angles at it. I understand that. Everybody understands that. But just know, if it's a new set, especially if you're working with modern cards, if the set literally just came out, it's probably not in heavy played condition. It's probably not in any played condition, especially if someone's trying to sell it on eBay for a premium. So keep that in the back of your mind. Look at the cards. Of course, you want to make sure that the card is nicely centered, making sure that the image is in the center of the card, left to right, top to bottom. That's something to keep in mind, as well as the edges of the card. That's important. The corners, you want to make sure that the corners are nicely rounded. Sometimes there can be fraying on the edges. There could be a nick, scratch, whatever it is. Those are important things to keep in mind. Most grading companies have a guide online. I know PSA does, where they say, hey, what's a PSA 10? What qualifies a card to be a PSA 10? What qualifies a card to be a PSA 7 or a 1? So if it has like a crease in the card, you can see like maybe someone folded it up for their sandwich one day and then they unfolded it. How do I even know what cards are good to buy? You're gonna know what cards are good to buy, okay? So if there's a Charizard, I'm going to give you a quick hack. If there's a Charizard and it's probably going to be a pretty good card. That's not always the case. Some of them are going to be more common than others, of course. However, I'm going to ask something right now. I'll answer it for you because it doesn't help if it's a rhetorical question. It's on YouTube. You're going to have a hard time answering that question for me unless it's in the comments, and then I'm not going to be able to reply to it in this video. It's a little meta for you. What was I going to say? Do you think it's a good idea to send in a common energy card to get graded by PSA? No. Why is that? Because it's common. Everybody has it. It's easy to get, right? So take that knowledge to the next step, meaning, okay, so it's not that important because it's not rare. So we know rarity is a big deal. So it needs to be in the rare slot, or it needs to be some sort of a rarer card, right? Scarcity, hard to get. However, even if it's rare, if nobody wants it, nobody's going to pay money for it, right? Again, the market's going to dictate that. How do you know what that is? Again, hop on eBay, hop online, see what people are talking about on YouTube videos. Just get involved in the community, whether that's Discord, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever floats your boat. Hop in there, get involved. You're going to know what cards are good. You're going to see what everyone's talking about. It'll be very clear, very quick. Now, the most important thing in this video, now that I know most of you aren't watching at this point, make a budget. I can't tell you how many times I sat down with someone with financial planning and they don't have a budget. I forget the statistic. It was like 90+% of people don't have a budget. Bro, I think it's way more than that. Now, I know everyone in the comments is going to say that they have a budget. However, make a budget specifically for this. How much money can you spend per month, per week, per day on Pokemon cards specifically? No, to answer the question up front, Pokemon cards do not count as investing toward retirement in a traditional sense, and I'll get to that in a moment. Actually, I'll get to it right now because I'm going to forget otherwise. So what makes up a decent portfolio, generally speaking, would be some diversification. That can be argued as far as how heavily you should allocate. But one thing I want to point out, for example, think of Bitcoin. If you have 100% of your money in Bitcoin, it's totally reliant on that one entity. Whereas if you invest in things like ExxonMobil, Coca-Cola, you're diversifying. See my point? Awesome. So if you have all of your money sitting in Pokemon cards, if the Pokemon market does great over the next however many years, that's fantastic. But what if it doesn't? I can't guarantee what it will and what it won't do. If I had to guess, I think it's going to do pretty good long term. I can't guarantee that, though. I can't guarantee anything. However, I am saying I would invest in the traditional sense in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, that sort of boring thing. Have some money in cash sitting in your bank, in your mama's basement, wherever it needs to be. That is how you should invest. So make a budget toward this. Gosh, I think I could spend $200 a month toward Pokemon cards, or $20, $2 a month, whatever it is. Make a budget, stick to that budget, because I can promise you, you are going to want to go over that at some point. And if you do, that's okay. You can say, man, my budget was $200 a month. I just spent $300. But next month, I'm only going to spend $100. That's okay if you get back on track. Be careful of that, though. That's a very slippery slope. So try to stay dedicated to that, whatever that budget is. To kind of piggyback off of all of those points, know that there are external variables at play and yet to be in play that you're not aware of, I'm not aware of, no one is aware of. No foresight, no inside information can help you out with that. And what I mean by that is, for example, COVID happened, right? We didn't know that was going to happen. We didn't know how explosive the markets were going to be right after that. What if something crazier happens in the next few months? We don't know what's going to happen, right? So we can't guarantee, hey, if I put thousands of dollars in this Charizard card, is it going to go up long term? Maybe, maybe not. So don't feel bad about it if cards go down. Don't panic sell either, guys. That's just a general tip in life. Things go up, things go down, things wiggle in between. Don't. And last but not least, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos like this. I'm making them regularly at this point. And until next time, just have fun with it and be patient. The Pokemon Empire wasn't built in a day. Specially boxed for you and your mom. Nobody's gonna take me seriously.